How's everybody doing tonight? We're here for some more Donkey Kong Country Returns on a Thursday. We're gonna need a little bit of a different day, but same old Donkey Kong. We're gonna make our way through World 6 tonight, and that's mainly the goal, because I think going forward, these worlds are gonna get a little more difficult, because I know later levels getting to be very challenging. Not to mention these bosses are gonna get much worse. So we're probably gonna just be sticking to one world per session going forward, but we're already halfway through the game, so I think that's perfectly fine. So tonight's goal, World 6, Ruins level. Some of these levels, as I've understood, yeah, not that great on mirror mode, as you're saying there, Aiden, how you doing? There are two terrible stages in this level to be worried about, this world, excuse me, Rising Lava, and the boss. The boss, yeah, I am worried about him, because it's a multi-stage fight that drags on for a while, and there's a lot of different patterns to memorize. So that's going to be a hard one. And then that Rising Lava stage, I remember being kind of a problem. So we'll see how tonight goes. I expect the death count to go up a pretty decent amount, because we're actually at a kind of high toll. I've already compared it to my Tropical Freeze run from a few years ago. We're getting close to the death count from that. And that was 8 worlds worth. We're in World 6. That tells you a lot. Out of 9. So let's just go ahead and jump to the game itself and get the torture itself started, I guess. Thankfully, I came prepared. I already got all the pages I need open just in case we need the puzzle piece stuff. At this point, the puzzle pieces themselves aren't the hard part to figure out, even they do give me a little bit of problems here and there because of memory, but it's the stages I'm worried about going forward, mainly those bosses. I knew going in the World 6, starting here, that's when the boss fights get really bad for mirror mode because they drag on starting in World 6. The one thing I am not a fan of for both Returns and Tropical Freeze are how long these boss fights are. And you're going to start seeing that here in the cliff area. Alright, let's just go ahead and jump in. 6-1, sticky situation. Because the gimmick of this level is supposed to be old dinosaur themed. You see a bunch of skull and bones everywhere, so a lot of goop to get stuck in. All that toxic waste. So much oil. Nothing back here. Always check. Also, this world has a lot of enemies with double hits, if I remember correctly, too, because the skeleton dinosaurs, you always have to break off their head before you can even do damage. That was supposed to be a roll. There we go. You can just barely see that little banana out of view. Like, I like the concept of this world. It's a nice look in general for the dinosaur creatures. Just kind of being here as skeletons. And you get the theming of it. It's like, oh yeah, oil slicks everywhere, so the idea of this just being full of just random skull and bones. Yeah, you can kind of see why that's the case. Well, that was a waste. Trying to hit the dude in the minecart here. I'm gonna just take this one safe. Because then they start shooting fireballs, and I gotta worry about it. I believe one of these bone platforms for the oil waterfall is supposed to have a puzzle piece. I don't think it's here, though. I think it's a little bit further in. Okay, that guy just fell from the sky. I love how they just spawn, like, above where the camera is, so you don't see them. So if you're just chilling on a platform, random dinosaur can fall on your head. Great. Not really that big of a deal normally, but in the 1 health situation, that sucks. I don't remember that was needed for anything. I'm gonna take this guy out first. That was too close. I'll go back for the O, because that's not a big deal. Thankfully, this oil sludge doesn't really hurt. It just makes you very, very slow. Oh yeah, I remember one of these cactus, yeah, it does have a puzzle piece in it. That's why I just check all of them to be safe, because you never remember which one. So better safe than sorry. Also this one. Barely can see it. Oh, can I make it back in time? Okay, barely. You have a little bit of wiggle room before these platforms sink into the abyss. Nothing up here. It's always good to check. Sometimes you might find a random coin. If I miss 2 puzzle pieces before that bail, I guess I would just redo it. But I don't, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember that being the case, because I thought before getting to this checkpoint right before the O, I thought it was only 2 pieces. And we just got both of them. So, having 3 right now, at least in my head, sounds correct. I have the training of 5K. Gee, I wonder if something above me. Also, I just love Zebra just chilling in the mountain. Like, hey, how's it going? Come here often? Such a happy dude. That does not feel like a donkey-only jump. There's the G. Yeah, claustrophobic much? Yeah, this is the one. I knew it. I knew one of these had a puzzle piece. I'm gonna have to just let that chill. Thankfully, they don't drop the puzzle piece in the abyss. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a bonus room. That's fine. I can go back. Yeah, because at this point, I should have... Actually, I think I still missed one. Because this should be... If I have the other one, 8 of 9. Come here, my friends. Put one on the board. Actually, no, I don't think I can go back now, right? Yeah, because that was... No. Here, I'm good. I'm thinking the checkpoint was ahead of the zebra for some reason. Trying to think, how do I get to the zebra again? As just donkey, because that's a problem. Most of the time, can I do this or that? As donkey only. I don't know. Get up here just so I can get a surrounding. I remember on that one, because it's just been a bit. Because this only just goes for puzzle piece. Yeah, I don't care about the end right now, because I can die. I know. Calm down. Because I know I'm going to miss this jump, so I'm going to be going back anyways. At this point, the death number is just arbitrary, so it's fine if it goes up. I just clear it? Okay, I don't think that was a jump I could have made. It's just donkey. I keep on thinking because I'm always here with Diddy Kong. Because it just looked a little too far. Okay, well that was just a... like an input delay issue. Fun. Press the button, it didn't come out in time, so that just happens. Doing some weird wireless interference of late again, which is fun. I don't know why. Sometimes that's just a thing in this room. Thought I saw it a few years back, and then it just came back. I don't know why. I still think the most egregious of that was when I was streaming the Breath of the Wild stuff many years ago. I had almost a full second of input delay. At times, and I don't know why. Still don't know what caused that much interference. I think it was like a bad Bluetooth speaker or something, putting out a weird signal in the room. There we go. Alright, so yeah, I am missing one. I think it is in the beginning. I'll just double check while I'm just sitting here because I can figure it out. Got that one. Then there is, I believe I got that one. Oh, no, I did not. Okay. It was the second one I missed because it was just off screen. I didn't look. My bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna have one of these dudes fall on my head. Thank you very much. This is like the most uncomfortable section right now. Because these platforms are not lined up. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. They're not lined up in a great cycle. So, waiting for those was kind of torture. Pull back. Sometimes you just get a bad cycle. I was there like maybe a little too soon. Thankfully, this is a pretty easy stage, as we've seen so far. The deaths I've had is mainly looking for puzzle pieces. So I can get through this, just take your time and, you know, patience kind of rewards. Plus the roll jumps here. Really do, okay, well I was gonna say, really do help if it doesn't get caught on like a piece of a platform for a split second. Oh, I didn't think I got the DK. I thought it was just a banana. Don't matter. There's all those. Now let's go get all the puzzle pieces. And all the Kong layers are good. Yeah, I've noticed so far, it's the cycles for some platforms that it's rough to go through this world without Diddy Kong. Diddy does make a lot of the platforming cycles a lot more forgiving. You just notice that as a whole in this game. It just really does feel like a lot of these levels were designed with Diddy Kong's hover. So take away the hover and it makes things a lot harder for the single player, for Donkey Kong. Because I noticed that, like, I got to play this like once in co-op, and I noticed that player 2 just had the like easiest time because of them being able to hover. Donkey Kong has no real benefit. But Diddy Kong, on the other hand, oh man, that guy good. If you're playing this game co-op, you are always fighting to be player 2, which is not normally the case in a lot of co-op games. Because normally, characters are maybe the same, or player 1 usually has the advantage because of like camera control and such. Like, no, not in this one. Diddy is just infinitely the better character. Yeah, there's also, the platforms that do break apart for just being on it for too long, which again, Diddy Kong has no problem with because of that hover. So again, it really does, oh nice, gimp jump. Thought I can actually make that. Apparently the game said no. It really does feel like a lot of this design was like, oh yeah, you can do it with Donkey. I don't think you'd want to though. Alright, right here. Don't go in this barrel. There you go. Because the barrel is bait. You go in there and you just get a handful of bananas, which is not helpful at all. So that's all the puzzle pieces. I just gotta beat the level again. Nice hitbox. Yeah, that one is very deceptive. I'm not surprised that was the one I missed once I looked back at the puzzle piece listing. Like, oh yeah, that one off camera, not surprised. The off-camera puzzle pieces are usually the ones I'll miss, because obvious reasons. This one's on like the worst spot. Edge guarding. What is this, Smash Bros? I really do wish this was one of those games. I think I already mentioned in one of the previous sessions, but it goes bear repeating because it's a major problem. I really just wish that this game just had a feature where you can just, you know, get all the puzzle pieces, you quit the level, and then you keep them. If I hit yes, no I don't. I gotta beat it. Oh my god, yep, I had a feeling. Like, look, I'll prove that's a concept. Because it's only one checkpoint in. So it's fine. Plus, worst case, I just come back. Doesn't matter. No puzzle piece. 8 of 9. It's really stupid. A lot of games do this, to be fair, so this is not the only one that has this culprit. And I just wish more games would adopt that mentality of, hey, you got all the stuff, you can save and quit. Don't worry about it. You can quit the level and keep your stuff. Because time's a virtue. Not as much as I used to, so make things a little bit more accessible to the player at that point, and not make them just replay things for the sake of padding at that point in time. Just unnecessary at that point. Yeah, roll jump might also work to get past that section. I think just getting there is a bad cycle, because it's not hard, really, to get past this crap here, but kind of just want to wait. And then I can get past the stupid dinosaur on the left. Because again, they're edge guarding. Like, what is this? I'd rather deal with that guy on the right, that's fine. There you go. Stupid edge guarding dinosaur. Easy. See? Just wait. Solves all problems. Especially in a challenge like this, you really learn rushing's not a great thing. Have you seen me in those kind of levels? Dude, that guy just fell through like 3 platforms. Okay, and then a new one showed up. Great timing. Just comical. I'm just seeing the dude just fall through another set of bone platforms. Like, alright. Even the enemies are getting janked. There we go. Hey, free life. Doesn't matter. I'm at 99. Won't be for long, though. Alright, let's go on to 6-2. Because, yeah, this is minecart. Fun. We know what that means for some of these collectibles. Some won't be that bad and pretty obvious. Others, good luck. Most of them probably in that good luck category. At least it's not the barrel. That'll come later. I know we have to deal with that, I think, in World 7. before I go on that, I'm gonna go in here. Raise your hand if you missed on your first playthrough. I think most people do, to be fair. Because you're trained to go straight for barrel. That's what your eyes gravitate to. As we saw back in 6-1. Same reason why I missed the puzzle piece in that level. I was getting squeaky again. Alright, let's do this. Alright, nice delayed jump on that one. Let me just do a little bit of a cycle of the controller. Yeah, don't worry about it. That feels a little bit better already. I don't know what is with these switches. But sometimes literally just resetting your Bluetooth, whether it be with the system or just a controller, feels better. Use a better chip and Switch 2, and I still have the weird issues I had in Switch 1. It's just something to do in my room. On pace so far. Wait, I think that was the puzzle piece. I just saw the corner of my eye. That's the mean one. Let me get through the rest of this so I can have the muscle memory. Yeah, because that should be piece 5. I love how I barely missed it. See, that's another thing that I would just say, let's just try playing more of. Because I remember that being kind of a precise jump. Too much, you miss it. Too little, you also miss it. You need, like, the right height. But yeah, this one's not that bad. Oh, wait. What the heck did I see, then? That was not the puzzle piece. What's a good thing I didn't just jump in a pit randomly after I missed what I thought was a piece. I saw like a little bit of like an orange thing glowing on top of a roof. My mind just said, puzzle piece? I think it was just shading because it was up here. I saw something in the corner of my eye for a split second. I saw it on that. It's like, there's no way you jump up there. I don't remember that. Yeah, it just looked like there was a thing on top of that structure for a second, but no, there's nothing. It's just the background. Really weird. Alright, just grab the one here in the egg section, and that's all 5. I essentially first tried the actual level. Like, I beat it all in one go. It's just I'm going back for puzzle pieces. So I'm gonna count that as a first try. Not in terms of collectibles, but in terms of the actual challenge, yeah, I beat it. Not bad. And look at that, right back to full. Yeah, that crystal level minecart I think is probably the worst one. And I don't know why it was that bad. That level just cranked things up to 11, especially for the collectibles, and they don't do it again. So it's kind of the oddball out. Which I'm glad that that's the only level like that. The bear levels aren't much better, but at least that's the only minecart level that bad. Creepy. Hey, look, a friend. Not in this life. I think you can just make that if you have Diddy Kong, so good luck if you're donkey only. This is a level where having Diddy Kong is really beneficial. So guess who we don't have? And never will. Yeah, this level is literally just what you see. Yeah, it's just a bunch of scale puzzles. Like, it's not the hardest kind of level in the world, but it's just a lot more tedious with just Donkey. Oh, there's a thing down there. I think I remember this. Yeah, don't even bother. There is a puzzle piece over there. If you miss that, you have to redo the whole level because it's right after a checkpoint. It is really dumb. So just go back in now. Every time I play this level too, I remember, wait, isn't there like a piece that's like off camera that you don't see and it's right before a checkpoint? Then I jump in the barrel and I see it. It hits you every time after you miss it. Because it's just an off-screen thing that is very, very easy to ignore. Like, every time. Nice roll. Nice roll, Donkey. Can't even blame anyone myself on that one. Nice roll, me. I probably should just get rid of the little tiki guy in the middle of the jump. It's a good, like, safety net to bounce off of for the height, but then also kills you. There. That's probably the worst puzzle piece in this level, so don't have to worry about sneaky thing off screen right before checkpoint anymore. Yeah, like this level always gave me Donkey Kong Country 3 vibes because there were cliff levels in that game that were just like these scaling levels. You always like climbed up these ropes and it was just a vertical climb. That's pretty much all the cliff levels were in that game. And this specific level just kind of reminds me of that, which is weird because it's not really the same thing, but it's close enough. Like you do climb up a lot of this level, but there's no ropes to climb. I don't know, I just get like this weird feeling from it that I also got from those kind of levels in DKC 3. Kind of hard to explain. Maybe it's because it's just the atmosphere and the theme. Because the song here is almost reminiscent of something from DKC 3 specifically. Most of the music though is based off 1, so that's just a weird comment, I know. It's just the kind of vibe I get. Like the hardest puzzle in this whole stage too, and it's just, can you walk to the other side of the screen and then hit the scale and then do it again? Like that's all this is. Just a little more annoying without your hover, but other than that, yeah, simple puzzle. Turn. Thank you. I feel like you could probably just roll jump that. You probably shouldn't. Holy momentum. I've never seen that skull fly that fast before by hitting him with a barrel of all things. That guy just booked it. Yeah, that you can just make. Not gonna do that again because I don't trust this guy's momentum. Why even bother with that puzzle? It's just a roll jump. Like, come on. I don't like doing this without Diddy. Because that is a little bit more precise without him. What I like usually doing for that platform is like grab it until I'm like away from the platform, then I can just hover back. Yeah, without hover, can't really do that. Yeah, if you're close enough. Helping hand? Oh, no, this time I just actually have momentum. Okay, thanks. And that's a level. Really nothing special outside of that puzzle piece in the beginning. That's the only real hard part for collecting's sake, so we take those freebies. And it's all simple now, but I can't wait. VOD watchers would be like, wait, a lot of this went by fast. Why is this part like the most meaty part? Because I know that's gonna happen. You get to the ending stuff with the K and the bosses, and that'll be an extra 2 hours. No reason, just bad patterns to figure out, or just struggling on a level, you know, the usual. That's pretty much how the whole World 4 situation went. Half of that night was literally 2 levels. Nice. Nice trigger. Not looking forward to this one. There's gonna be a lot of like spike ball clips. Because that's just the thing in this level. Like that. And thus it begins. This level I don't really like. Even on just normal mode, this one kind of sucks. Hey Matt, how you doing? I don't know how you're supposed to ever get that barrel, because I never get the K with that one barrel. I always just do this. Go up here, and just go get K. Oh no, that's right, it's bonus, that's why. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute, there's no way you make that jump. You have to go from the skull bone bounce thing. Words. Alright, there we go. Give me the easy one now, because I believe there's the later half of this level is gonna have some puzzle pieces I'll definitely be dancing with some danger with. Yep, I had a feeling. As soon as I won the jump, of course. Extended neck. Alright, that was a little too close. I love how that's supposed to be a heart, but on your mode, that's pretty much just a laugh in the face. Holy, how did I not get clipped by that dude? Legitimately shocked I didn't die from that. I could just get this from here. Yeah. Man, the only part of the level that really felt at home on the 3DS version, because that's a 3D section if I've ever seen one myself. Yeah, I forgot about this. This sucks. Surprised that worked out. Okay. That one I usually just take a death for. So that is a first. Nope. Spike ball, I knew it. Yep. Forgot that's literally just swinging in the air. I got Kirby Game reused that kind of idea that this level does with the spike balls coming in and out in a 3D section. It's like Triple Deluxe. I know that did this a lot. Yeah, this is the section that's just stupid. It's like, let's just pile in like 6 spike balls and give them like a 1 spike ball gap. Oh, and then on the other side, we're gonna have a swinging one, and then on the side before it, we're gonna have one that pops up from the pit. Have fun. I hope you have an extra heart. What's that? You're on mirror mode, so you don't. Oh, well. GG's to you. That's why I just want to get there fast enough. I can make that jump, just pull back faster. It's actually faster and safer to go through that with a speedrun strat. You may be asking, how to get himself in the situation? How do you think? Ooh, sorry to hear that, Matt. Caught the flu early in the week. That's never fun to have. Hopefully you're gonna be, feeling better soon. I haven't gotten a flu shot myself yet, because I was supposed to get one back in September, and then that kind of fell through. So, hearing that kind of stuff, it's like, oh, yeah, I seen that gap, and nah. I do need to get one at some point, based on what I've been hearing. Because I've heard it's pretty bad this year in some areas. Okay, that was just stupid. There. Much better. Like I said, just pull back in this section, and that's actually better to just run through it fast. Because I just don't like timing that. That timing jump is just kind of bad. Speaking of bad, nice placement for the G. That's the only thing to do with puzzle pieces. Where am I on that? 4, 7? I think I'm good. I should have 4 by now. Yeah, and there's another one, so that's 5. I just forget how long you go without a checkpoint in this section, because it's ridiculous. Jeez, man. It's like, seriously, why is that so long of a gap between checkpoints? I think that's the last one, too. This is the section I really do not like. I'm gonna be extremely slow in this part of the level, because this is really bad if you're just trying to gun-ho run it. Plus, hitbox is gonna be jank at times. I don't want my finger to ever slip off this D-pad. That was risky. He barely had enough time to make that jump. Alright, there. We made it. I know what the last piece is. The gap was not wide enough. You have to go in between those, but the timing sucks. That's why I say I don't like this level. This level is just really stupid on the amount of spikes they throw at you. Like, you think here, and that's the problem with this section, too. They kind of give you a little false sense of security. It looks like if you're fast enough when you first get to this part, you might be able to make it before the first spike ball falls in the ceiling. No, you're not fast enough for that. It doesn't work. I say I don't like this section. They don't give you that much spacing between these spike balls. And then they randomly do. So it's like, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually take a hit for this. It's 5. So way out to the 5th. Go now. Like, that sucks on mirror. Because any hit, and you're right back to the beginning. And then I just put one at the end because it's funny. Alright, let's go backwards so we can do 6-5. This one based on the title. A lot of pits. Easier level with Diddy, but that's kind of the concept for like 80% of this game. Yeah, the one Rambi in here too, which sucks because I think most of the level requires him for puzzle pieces. So basically, if you ever die, you probably just reset the whole level at that point. At least he takes care of all the spike balls. The one saving grace you got here. Are no longer a concern. But then you have to keep on getting off the dude so you can check the things you blow. Like the dandelions and the little, like, pinwheels. Like, dude, I'm so glad they got rid of the blowing mechanic after this game. Because that blowing mechanic is such a pace breaker. Probably end up having the mentality of, if we lose Rambi, we'll just beat the level with the Kong letters and get whatever pieces we can along the way, and then just redo it with Rambi the whole way so we can get the puzzle pieces required with him. Because honestly, I don't think we're going through all this in one go without dying. If we do, that'd be great, but I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one. Because keeping him the whole way isn't that bad when you actually have health. But, yeah, no health. Okay, I thought that was like a section from Tropical Freeze. My muscle memory kicked in for the speedrun part. Because if you don't run, you're dead. Because that's how they set up one of the levels in that game. For Rambi. Which is nerve-wracking beyond belief. Thankfully, this level's pretty short. There we go. Got it. I think it's the last thing you needed actually for Rambi, so I think we're good on the Rambi thing. And yeah, then here is also get all the bananas for a thing. Okay, this is awfully suspicious. Gee, I wonder why. Although it sucks with the one-hit thing, as always. Because I can't do anything with the fire guys. The stone one's no problem, just poke it with Rambi. But not the fire guys. Well, on the plus side, we got the thing we need with Rambi. So, that is no longer going to be a concern. Good timing. I just have to be a lot more careful now getting these bananas. My hitbox is a little bit smaller. On the minus side, that, I guess, as well. I didn't even touch the platform. That's a first. On the minus side, I don't have the safety net anymore. Just whacking the guys with Rambi's horn. Maybe I just want to try hard mode, I guess. What is a hitbox? Not even near the blade. Come on, dude. This is why I would like to have Rambi for that forgiveness. Because, again, what is a hitbox? This is just the worst one, I think, without Rambi. Because the others, you get at least some kind of forgiveness here. Momentum kill me. The other ones, you get a lot more forgiveness because there's only one spike dude, slash fire dude, to worry about. But just the third one, yeah, nothing but spike guys. Oh, great. Honestly, it's going to feel more rewarding now probably to get the puzzle piece this way, because they never intend for you to get it with a one-hit KO status. And also, no Rambi. This was definitely a puzzle more designed to still have Rambi for. It does show. Because the difficulty ceiling goes from like a 3 to like a 9. Because in the beginning it doesn't start that bad, and then after like 2 of these little circles, boom. Let's just throw in hard mode. Because that is stupid. Okay, why am I changing the formula all of a sudden? The thing I did literally the first 3 times is the strat, as it's worked fine. And now all of a sudden I'm changing my idea because I'm scared. I love hearing the success sound and then, like, not even a second later, failure. That's just big mood. There we go. Honestly, third ring's the problem. The rest are pretty easy when you have an actual pattern and stick to it, you know, like I should have been doing from attempt number 1. That's fine. Now, I know you mean well, Aiden, but I need to say this. Can you tone it back a little bit on the passive aggressiveness on the comments? I don't think that's how you're meaning some of those things to come out when you're saying, when I make a mistake with this or that. But it is coming across that way, and I want to let you know. This kind of a series is not hard. This is mainly all entertainment, especially how this game was never designed for the challenge I'm doing in mine in mirror mode. So mistakes are going to happen, especially given how I'm having split focus, because that's what you do when you stream. I just want to let you know, some of the things you do say are coming off a little bit passive aggressive. It doesn't help. Appreciate help from people, but certain ways of saying things, not so much. Nope. Not falling for it. I knew it was there. Yeah, I just want to let you know, because I don't know if you're meaning that, because some people do come across differently in, like, text tone. I was told that even, like, myself years ago, and I learned that. So I just want to let people know, based on that. I've actually had worse people over the years in streams, surprisingly enough. I think the worst I've ever dealt with was... It was either when I was streaming Hollow Knight or Pokemon White. Because it's like a combination of two different kinds of people. Backseat gamers, which really get upset when you don't play the game their way. And that's why that's a rule in the streams. Like, hey, don't do that. I appreciate when people help when I ask, but don't give unsolicited advice and then get upset if I don't follow that specific advice. Some people get a little too aggressive like that. I never like that. So there's certain game franchises I just don't like streaming because I know the kind of crowd they bring in. Like, that's why I'll never stream probably Dark Souls, because I hear the horror stories. Plus, the series is not for me anyways. But that's besides the point. Pokemon was just weird because I just had some people come in asking me to trade things on a game that didn't even have online servers anymore. So that's a whole other problem. That's just people being weird. Nope. I'd rather wait. Because that sucks. And that's why we waited. Now I got the checkpoint. Doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot these guys died. Cool. Yeah, I remember, like, the stage does have, like, that chase section with the ball. That's gonna be fun for puzzle pieces. Probably take some intentional deaths just to grab them. Nope. Nope. Not missing that. Yeah, like some people, yeah, you remember it too, man. The Hollow Knight ones were really bad. At times, like, I remember flat out having to tell people, and my mods even had to get involved in that one, that, hey, don't do that. Don't be rude. And say, hey, you didn't do this thing right. You're an idiot. It's like, whoa, wait, where's that coming from? I'm just playing a video game for the first time and experiencing it. Why are you so rude? Like, I don't know what was the deal with the Hollow Knight streams, but it brought out the worst in people for some reason. It's weird. Like, I enjoyed the game, but streaming after a while, not as much because of the crowd. Which is why I'm wanting to play Silk Song on my own. Maybe I'll stream that in the future, but like my first playthrough, no. I learned my lesson after Hollow Knight, the first one. Because it's a game I'm really looking forward to. I haven't had a chance to really play it yet. I'm not gonna get backseated by a random person Twitch chat. Does feel like you just push hard enough and DK might clip through that wall. Yeah, this is one I might take a death for. That's fine. That puzzle piece sucks if you don't take the death for it. So I got it now, not a big deal. I can just go. You can tell this is an auto-scroller when you can't move in some sections. Like, if you're fast enough here, you can probably blow that puzzle piece out and then just grab it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that. I'll be dying again. I'll come back for it. I could just make it with a standard jump. Nope. Yeah, because it's this one. You jump on that fence. That's what it was again. See? Knew we were gonna miss something and die, so now I'll get the end. Planned. He says, grinning his teeth. Yeah, the Muncher Marathon again. Half of the Muncher Marathon was because I was just getting in that speedrun mindset, which didn't help it. Like, it wasn't that bad once I took my time in some areas, but then got really bad when I decided to just go fast. But that level was fun to speedrun. Very rewarding, but very hard at the same time. There you go, you barely can clear that jump too. And this one you gotta be fast enough. Same with the G. And then there's the last one. You can barely see it in the camera. And that's just like the slowest jump out possible. There we go. Yeah, the frog in the end. To be fair, the beginning frog was just, you go too fast. Your hubris gets the best of you every time, which is the classic trope in speedrunning. For me, the frog in the beginning of that level was just the equivalent of the one clip you've always seen shared around from Mario 64 speedrunning, where it's literally the first second of gameplay you get. As soon as the cutscene of Peach talking to you and Lakitu flying around the world and you get control of Mario. And instead of long jumping, the guy does a ground pound and just instantly resets his console. The frog was my ground pound reset moment because that's basically what that amounted to. It was literally the first thing in the level. You go too fast, instantly die, kind of the same mood set. Alright, so I think now I could probably go back and answer that question of yours, man. I was just kind of focused on all that chaos there near the end. So this level's a little bit simpler in comparison to what we just dealt with, so I'll have some more breathing time. Yeah, my week was alright. I will say it's just still kind of like a back and forth thing, kind of dealing with some stuff in terms of like warranties and returns and such. I've been going back and forth the past week or so with a couple different companies because I could talk about some of it because it is an ongoing thing for certain stories, but the one I'm dealing with now is I have this UPS. I think I might have told some of this already on stream, but I have this UPS hooked up to my computer. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an uninterruptible power supply. So in that argument, see how the Switch here has a battery. So if I lose power right now, I can still play my Switch and still play Donkey Kong because it has a battery. That's the same idea as what a UPS is. It's a battery you can just hook up your devices to. So it could be a computer, TV, game consoles, you name it. So I use those all the time for work stuff. So I have it hooked up to like my computer, modem and such, so I don't lose power when there's like a brownout or something. It's like a power hiccup. And speaking of that, it happened like 7 in the morning. I haven't slept. I should have probably started this story saying that. So side tangent on that. Haven't slept, so I'm running off of like 4 hours of sleep at most, interrupted, because I was having a night. That should demonstrate that, because I am like tunnel visioned right now with like the lack of sleep. So I'm gonna make some rookie mistakes here and there because I'm probably just not fully there today, which is fair. So it's kind of funny. That was one of the things I was dealing with literally this morning, and this is why I'm trying to get this UPS thing straightened out. It was a few weeks ago, my UPS just started to act up out of nowhere. So the screen was flashing on it like all these like different symbols. It was weird. It was not supposed to do this. So it looked like it was malfunctioning in some fashion. Normally, it just shows you like, here's how much time the battery has or how much power it's pulling. But in the case of what it was showing, might as well have been a foreign language because it was messed up. Like the panel got dropped or something. It was really weird. So I was contacting the company for it. This is an APC UPS. That's the company I got for this. It turns out that since I got this unit to now, they were bought out by a whole different company. So that already complicates matters for this because now I'm not dealing with the same company I bought this unit from. It's now an enterprise company because I contacted them about this issue, and the first thing they asked is, am I a corporation? I gotta make like SonicGhost LLC or something because I think I'm gonna need it going forward. So that was already fun. Had to straighten that out to tell them, no, this is a home user. Like, this is personal use. I'm not a business. If I was, then maybe I would actually have money. Nah, who am I kidding? Businesses nowadays are just as bad as, like, me. We're not doing great. Where's my money? So, that was fun to straighten out, but eventually got through all that connection stuff. Got things, like, all sorted out. On, like, I'm not a business, so can you help me as an actual, like, end user, please? So I got that actually taken care of. They sent me out a replacement, because my thing's under warranty still. I bought this unit, like, about 2 years ago. It's a 3-year warranty. So I just got the unit in, like, the other day. Only had time to set it up today. And I'm immediately back on the line with them saying, there's something wrong with this new unit, because it won't shut up. So normally, a UPS will make some kind of like buzzing noise when it's on battery power. That's normal because it's using the battery. That's the point. So you hear this buzzing because it is the circuitry kicking in for the battery mode. It's doing that all the time though. Like when the battery is not in use, when it's just plugged in the wall. So I immediately contacted them saying, I think we may have a new problem here. So I'm waiting on word back about it because this kind of situation should have been solved by now because I have my replacement, so it should be good, but the replacement might need a replacement. So, ongoing story there. So that's been one, which is fun. Then this one only recently just got resolved, but I still have to keep an eye out for things in case something changes with Amazon. So I should preference this because the video's coming out tomorrow, so this will give some backstory. I needed to get a dock for something because I need some way to hook up this device to a TV. And for context for what that is, it's one of these. I got a Steam Deck for my birthday from last week. Shout out to my mother for this one because that was something that was not on my bingo card this year, getting a Steam Deck. But she helped me out during that previous Steam sale. The LCD models were the lowest I've ever seen in price. So got a Steam Deck and I need to have some way of hooking up to like a TV, computer monitor, stuff like that. especially if we want to capture footage from it. And I didn't want to get the official Valve one, because the official Valve dock, it's good. It's just a little too expensive for what it is. Like, if you need 2 monitors, you probably should get the official dock and also a second power cord, right? Because it comes with another power cord. But it retails for about $80 US. That's a lot of money for just a dock. So I went on Amazon and I got kind of like this basic dock. Nothing really too special. It's just same idea as the one, as the one that Valve makes, where it just hooks up the device, gives you some extra USB and an HDMI out. That's all it is. I don't need extra screens. So get one of those. And I kid you not, this is what is really confusing about this story. The dock situation is an ongoing thing of, apparently this thing was returned. So I need to now return it. I get it in. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. I don't know if I have it uploaded on my computer, so I'll just have to show it on my phone, so apologies for sketch. But trust me, this is part of the good story here. You're gonna need to have this for context. Let's see. Here it is. I get the unit. And the box just looks like this. I'm trying to like get the code out of the way because it doesn't really matter. It kind of looks like that. Like, it's already kind of beaten up in some areas. There's no, like, seal on it anywhere. This is the unit sent back, so it doesn't matter. I show the codes, not thinking about it. It was used. Because I opened the box up and it came like that. I'm not even joking. No bags. There's no cable. Like, this is the wrong cable, too. Because that's not even supposed to be what it comes with. It's supposed to come with this right angle thing. And that's definitely not the right cord. Let me see if I can find that really quick, because again, don't really have that information on standby here. Here we go. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to come with. Notice the cord there is gray, and has a right angle connection that goes right into the actual unit. The one I got from Amazon is just that. Just a black cord, no right angle. Go to hook it up, doesn't work. At all. This unit doesn't give any signal out. It does charge, but I do believe that this is a USB 2.0 cable, while the Steam Deck needs a USB 3.2 cable. So this is not even close. It's just used for charging. So someone bought this, swapped the cord out for some reason, put the thing back in the box, shipped it back to Amazon, then they sold it to me as a new product. So that was dumb. So now we can go back to the game, because now the rest of this I can do while I'm playing. So that thing had to go back. Then I have to go get a replacement. And this story lines up with last week now. Remember last week when I was playing Donkey Kong, I was constantly checking my phone because I had a delivery coming. It was for that. My replacement was supposed to show up last Tuesday. I kid you not, I don't know how this happens. The device was marked out for delivery at 9 in the morning. It's sent out on a truck. It's in this area by 6 p.m. Then all of a sudden, you can't find the driver anymore. They just disappear from the map. I had to get on customer support and ask what happened. Apparently, they were out for delivery for the product and then just took it back to the shipment facility that same night. For some reason. I was never told why. They literally had the thing on a truck out for delivery, and then all of a sudden decided, I think I'm done for today, I'm just gonna go back to base. Because there was no reason that I was given why that happened. No, like, mechanical issue for the driver's truck, or maybe they had, like, a mix-up of addresses or anything. No, because fast forward a day later, it did show up. It just randomly went on one truck for delivery one day, didn't show up, then put on a second truck the next day and actually showed up. I've never had that happen before. Never. This is a first, and it sounds like the most confusing thing, which is why I needed to just stop for a second to explain what happened there on the delivery process, because that made no sense. So I had to get on the horn with them a couple different times throughout this week, trying to figure out what the heck was happening with that situation. But also, even that one wasn't really working, so I had to contact them back and forth. To a point, I got things straightened out. I got a replacement now that works. I got a refund for the one that was borked. But there's still like a weird thing on my account that was kind of flagged in a way that makes it look like I might still need to return a thing I don't have, because I was told to dispose of the one that didn't work, which I did, and then they're still asking for it back, which is the most confusing thing, because I've talked to like 4 different people now on customer support, and all 4 of them said I don't need to return this product, but Amazon themselves keep on telling me I need to return it. So that should be a story that's resolved. I'll get back in November if there's an update, because mid-November is essentially where I need to check my account to make sure I didn't screw up, because that's when they apparently are wanting their product back that they also told me to throw out, because they can't use it. The thing is not even possible to work. I had another cord lying around, so I tried the unit that didn't work because they sent me the wrong cord. Tried it with something else, still didn't work, so I just got told to throw it out. Because they can't do anything with it, it's garbage. So that's a fun story. At least the positive is like I got a Steam Deck out of it. It has nothing to do with Amazon though, so I'm not gonna credit them for that. It's just, what kind of like roller coaster of events just to get a dock to get an HDMI signal out of my deck? It's beyond me. Really weird. I've never had a package situation this messed up before from Amazon. Like, I've had some of my weird things from them before. Nothing to this caliber, though. Like, this is a story and a half, which was on top of another story I'm dealing with for the warranty process. Although that one's, like, a lot more calm. It's just getting it worked out, but also got unlucky. That's all. Nothing too crazy. Amazon doesn't know how to do anything. Yeah, if you want to just sum up my story, that's the summary right there. Amazon employees just kind of do whatever. Because here's the funny thing. I was on chat, and I was told by 3 different people I was getting a refund. I didn't get it until person number 3. I got told from one person, we're issuing you a refund. And also, we're going to give you like a $5 credit. Actually, let's back up for a second. When I was told the delivery was delayed, I was going to get a $5 credit on my account. I never got that $5 credit. The next day, I went on the account again, told them the situation, and then they said, okay, let's give you that $5 credit. I'll do it. By the way, we will also issue a refund. I didn't get that $5 credit, didn't get that refund. Third agent on the line. Hey, I didn't get a $5 credit from 2 different people. What's going on with that? And I was promised a refund. Where's my refund? All right, well, let's fix that. I'm going to give you a $10 credit now on your account. And I will also give you a refund. I'll give credit to this third guy. He did give me the $10 credit. That actually happened. Refund did not, though. At this point, I'm a week in. I'm like past that 5 to 7 business day window. I got no refund at all. There's no money. So it takes 4 Amazon employees to issue 1 refund. So as you said, Matt, moral of the story, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They really don't. How do you get 4 people tell you the same sentence, and it takes the 4th one to finally actually do the thing you were told about? How does that happen, dude? Seriously. Like, at least I finally got it, but oh my god, I pulled out so many teeth. At this point, I could probably make a set of dentures. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. This is why I recorded all those chat logs for myself, because I had to name drop those people in the last chat, and it actually got me somewhere. So, when you're talking to associates, they record your conversations. You should also do the same, because it will help you if they make any mistakes on their end. And trust me, they will make mistakes on their end. It's almost guaranteed to happen at this point with a lot of companies because of how overwhelmed they are. Because I was supposed to get that stuff straightened out on Monday. Guess what happened on Monday? The internet died because of Amazon Web Services. So guess what didn't work the entire day? Their chat and their phone line. Couldn't even talk to a single human if you wanted, let alone a robot. It was really bad. But to be fair, I give him credit on that one. I don't know what exactly happened on that. I heard it was possibly a DDoS attack, so not a good thing. The department is definitely scrambling on Monday, trying to figure out why the entire internet just died. And I can completely understand. So, not gonna fault Amazon employees on that one, because that was definitely a day you didn't want to be an Amazon employee. Yeah, at least I got the refund app, all that. I agreed on that one. It's like, if I went to the 4th person and I still didn't get anything, yeah, that would have been an angry phone call, because at that point, I'm done with these chat channels. 4 different people on a text service? No, give me an actual person on the phone. I go through the chat once because normally it's a fast response and a pretty fast turnaround. This week was the exception because they had that whole Amazon thing down for a whole day, and that screwed everything up. Like, okay, I'll give you credit there, but the phone line would have been just as bad. Because at least with the chat thing, I like doing it that way because then I can refer back to notes. You can't do that when you're on a phone call, so yeah, I was doing the right thing before. Just tunnel vision that. You can't really refer back to the same kind of notes in a phone call because I can literally copy and paste the things I'm being told, compared to a phone call where it's like, well, I had this guy that told me this. It becomes a trust me bro situation. By the way, that 3rd guy I mentioned that I was supposed to get a refund from, he did actually send me an email confirmation saying I was getting a refund. So what happened? I got a confirmation saying I will get the refund, proceeds to not get the refund. It's like, how? How do you do that? He didn't even put in the email what the amount was for. It just said you're gonna get a refund. How much? I hope you can figure it out, because I don't know. Well, at least that's done. Tunnel vision a lot of that because I really wanted to tell those stories. That's how my week was. Interesting, to say the least. Also very busy with filming. As you can imagine, having a 4th thing in the rotation now to possibly make a video on because, dear God, I'm swimming in console first impression reviews. I go from not doing one of those for like 5 years, roughly. No, 4, because it was Switch OLED was the last one, so 4 years ago. And now I'm doing 4 at once. This is why none of them's come out yet, because dear God, the workload has been a lot. It'll happen, just by the end of the year is my internal goal. No set dates, but I really need to get working on a lot of other projects too, not just like 4 individual videos. Oh yeah, this level's very much designed around having Diddy, so this is gonna definitely suck without him. It's like not that bad of a level normally. Yeah, it is kind of just like a their level in the normal playthrough, but without Diddy, I'm interested to see how much of a different dynamic this becomes. I think it's just like a coin down there, right? I'm gonna say yes. I really didn't want a chance going down and dying just to see if there's a coin, which probably was the case. Oh my God, that was a weird twitch. Yeah, also, yeah, this is why this level sucks without Diddy. Everything here is a timed event, so you can't be waiting here for too long. There we go. Cool. I'm surprised that those platforms don't crumble. It feels like that would just be a thing you could deal with too. I forgot they do that here. That's just like... That's the biggest troll that you can do in this kind of a level. Put an extra life in a one and done section, because you're gonna just look at that balloon and think, I can grab that. And then you instantly go for it without knowing you're gonna hit that rock and there's no barrel to save you. Because I do that at least once in every playthrough of DKCR in this level. That is just... If you're playing the game, that's like kind of like a ritual. Every player, I feel like, does that at least at some point. Because the balloon is just bait. Speaking of bait. Just going for the ending is bait. I'm surprised how long this world is actually taking so far just to get to the boss. Like, it hasn't been that difficult. We've had our moments, but nothing too extreme. But now we're gonna get into that extreme part, because now we're at the K stuff and the boss. And this is obviously when things pick up. And I'm worried about the boss. Oh god, that thing sucks on just normal. Alright, so this stage is probably one of those situations where I might just take the L in some areas just to get a puzzle piece. Because some of these are pretty tight on timing. So welcome to an auto-scroller, because that's essentially what this level is. Oh, the flame. I was like, wait, what hit me? The guy passed. I didn't even see the flame anymore. So I barely clipped it. Well, like I just said, I might take the L at some points for puzzle pieces, and that immediately just fell in that trend, because I don't have to go back for a puzzle piece now. Yeah, these spinning blade dudes, yeah, they got... I forgot that already happened. I just played it. They have a long-lasting fire bar behind them. So that's a pretty wide hitbox. It lasts for a while. So no area is really safe in this level. Everything is a depth trap. I'm gonna go over here this time. Yeah, now I can go this way. I thought I jumped too early. I actually did. Maybe I gotta keep my eyes peeled out here because of all the death. And then this section, this one sucks. You can't kill these bees if I remember correctly. Because they're always electrified. And there's like very, very small gaps you can jump in between them. This is the one part I hate the most in this level. It's just the stupid bee section. It's only like a short piece of it too, so why they even do it is beyond me. Like, I don't like this concept. Yeah, there's so many puzzle pieces in this level that literally are just hidden right out of view of the camera. I believe there's one that you just have to like jump through a ceiling gap too to get, so you gotta be paying attention to all the stuff upcoming. Because you miss that one little detail in the stage, you will just miss the puzzle piece. And that's just the problem in the stage as a whole. Not as bad if you're not focusing on the pieces, but obviously we are. Nice jump. I couldn't do it because of the turn back. So now I'm getting to that point where I gotta start locking in, which sucks because these levels are so long. So you make one mistake and you're wasting like 3 to 4 minutes at times. It gets really punishing. Not looking forward to 6-4, or 6K, excuse me, because of this. I blurred the other K level we had a problem with was back in level 4. So that's where the 4 came from. Maybe I should just go from the left. Yeah, because I have more time to actually jump over the flame dude if I go this way. Nope. Oh, there's a puzzle piece in that. I just remembered last second. Ah, screw it. I'm already here. There's another one that's going to be super stupid to get, so I might as well grab it now. I say as I fall in spikes. Okay, now we'll get that puzzle piece, then. I just remember that as soon as I see the platform, because last time I was so focused on the candle, and now it's like, oh no, the actual thing you need to be focused on is this random building that looks like it has no gaps because it's a hidden ceiling. I love doing that. You just have to remember the hidden ceilings everywhere. And then once you actually get the piece, you realize that is somewhat safer to go for than just playing the level as they wanted. Which is kind of ironic. Nope. Okay. No piece there. I remember there was a piece in this section. I think it's in like another hidden wall piece. I don't think they're that cruel. Oh, my Sleep Deprived brain actually remembers all these patterns fully. Like, so far, so good on the pattern recognition. It's weird. Sometimes I feel like I lock in better when I'm sleep deprived and I can't focus too much, and other times I struggle. I think it just depends on the day. Because some days I'm like this, I do better than others. It's really weird. The mind's a very weird and finicky thing when you break it down. Man, I really hope I actually get sleep tonight, too. That'd be great. Especially because I'm really needing to prepare for next week's festivities. You might have noticed on the schedule, not only are we doing the Splatoon 3 Splatfest this weekend, because it's Halloween themed. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Halloween being literally next week. Because it's actually a repeat event. We've covered it in the past. I've said now if it's a repeat, I don't have to cover it. This is something I'm just wanting to play for a bit because it's going to introduce our Halloween themed streams for the remainder of October. So I'll be laying out the plans and how I'm actually handling the Halloween stuff going forward on Saturday streams. So make sure you're able to catch that one if you can. But yeah, I'll be laying out the plans there. Very bad jump. I'll be laying out the plans there. There's a reason why that day on the stream schedule I've been sharing, it's not in the same color as the rest. Just saying because of a certain theme for the remainder of October. I'm actually liking the idea of having for this new format going forward, because I don't want to do a month-long Halloween-related stuff, because it's just so hard to keep up with nowadays. So I'm going to be focusing on a new format, and it starts this Saturday. So I'll explain more then. I finally have enough information ready to share by Saturday. I'm just finalizing the schedule now. Okay, none of them are candles or vases. Alright, so at this point, I'm just gonna ignore them. I thought there was like one in one of the candles or vases, just because, you know, cruel like that. I can't remember half the time. And again, Sleep probably brain's gonna be thinking that. So I'm just gonna avoid this crap now. Yeah, I had a feeling I couldn't jump. I really wanted to jump over him. I just hate going through this without an extra hit. Like, this section I always tank the hit because it's just such a tight window. Man, I really wish the Switch 2 had a save state feature. That would save so much time. Because these levels really do need checkpoints, but the whole gimmick of the level is just, it's a hard challenge that you're supposed to go through in one go. So I get why they don't, but holy crap, when you get a level like this, you want a checkpoint. Because this is gruelingly long to constantly redo. The ones that you can't really go at your own pace and you're at the mercy of the level spacing, those are the most egregious for not having a checkpoint. Oh, no, don't. Yeah, that's right. If you go too fast, you literally get stung in the head. I think I might have gotten past these bees like once, maybe twice at most in my entire life playing this game with one heart. Because there'd be times you might like clip yourself on one of the enemies in this room trying to climb up or maybe hit a spike by accident. So you'll have one heart going into the bee section. So I've done the bee thing one heart before, but it's just been a while. I've noticed, like, over the years, I'm not as good at this kind of stuff as I used to be. It's like, as a kid, I remember doing, like, some of these harder challenges in games. I try it nowadays. Like, how did I do that? It's like a, 13-year-old or something. There you go. And to the stinger. To get through this efficiently with one health, you're supposed to bait the bees around in such a pattern that you can either go under them or jump over them. One of the two. But the problem is when they are spaced out in their spawns, because I think there's up to 3, if I remember correctly. They all show up on a different point in this climb. And then after a while, they just disappear. So once I get to that part, then the level's not as bad in terms of dodging random enemy. I still have to deal with all this crap, though. Just remembering the pattern, there's a very specific pattern they want you to take if you don't have an extra hit for this. Trying to remember that exact pattern at this moment? Yeah, good luck. When you're in, like, the midst of the danger. Strategy is the last thing you're thinking of, because you're thinking, how do I not die today? Okay, there we go. Bait him out to, like, the platform. That's where a puzzle piece is there. So I might have to grab and just die. Yeah, because the B pattern. They really don't give you enough lenience to get the puzzle piece and get out of that section alive. You have to take a hit. It's almost impossible. It might be possible without taking a hit. But that's one of those I'm just gonna have to sacrifice a life for. At least I don't have to worry about the piece anymore. That makes that section a little bit easier. Hey Marley, how you doing? Yeah, you just joined in the stream just in time to see like the parts of these mirror mode runs that really are not great, especially when you're going for all these puzzle pieces like me. I need him to go lower. That beat was not low enough. I feel at the rate the series is going, we might actually bypass the amount of deaths we had at the end of Tropic Freeze, because it was close to 700. And this is almost up to 500. And we're at World 6. The bosses in this game, I feel, in some ways, they're a little more drawn out in comparison to Tropical. Like, some fights are drawn out in Tropical to a point they were in this game, and then vice versa. But I feel like there's longer fights in Returns than there were in Tropical Freeze in the later half. Like, starting in this world, boss fights take like a good 5 minutes. Normally. That's the problem I have with these fights. They're just gonna really drag, which does not help for this one-hit state. They want to bonk there. That's actually really bad. There you go. Okay, thank God you finally left. And here to be back. It's like, hey, I'll give you like 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, I meant 5 seconds. That's all the time you're actually gonna have, sucker. Yeah, thankfully there's only the one bee there. Like, that's why I remember 3 bees in this level total, because there are the 2 that chase you, and then there's that one that is your real challenge at the end here, since they want you to go back and forth on those trampolines, trying to avoid the bee. And then also, obviously, all the lava. What do we have right now in puzzles? It was 3? Yeah, okay. So there's 2 in that section. Yeah, the spring at the end being the only platform is really gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to the final part of this level. Oh, see, and then that's another thing that's probably gonna happen, at least in the beginning, when I get in this section. I forgot they also still throw the fire spike dudes on the walls here. And the problem is it's red on like an orangey red like aesthetic in the background. So you tunnel vision this part pretty easily. And I just tunnel vision that enemy because I'm focused on the bee, which is exactly what they intended for a player to do. There's a reason why they put things in the final section the way they do. Yeah, look for DK blocks in the walls. Yeah, okay, that's a good hit to know. Thank you. I remember they're like in like hidden platforms or walls or something at the end, so now I know exactly what to look out for if I'm just, you know, deal with this stuff. Because I'm gonna probably be more focused on the enemies than hunting for random things. Oh, be on the left this time. I was gonna say, I think I might have to take the depth for that because that bee is a little too close to the lava, so there's no way I jump over him. Or also avoid the lava. That's pretty much a guarantee to both. I'm gonna hit both. Alright, well I got the one, so now I just gotta worry about the other ones. I think should be on the opposite side now. 'Cause yeah, they're just in like little hidden alcoves on the walls, and I think they mirror it. So, one's on left wall, one's on right wall. So in this case, one on right, one on left. I just gotta pay attention as I'm avoiding bees and fire dudes and lava. And my own hubris, that's probably the worst one. Like how there, I could just literally just don't jump. Like, don't move, just jump. It's pretty simple after you get the safe spot. Alright, bait them out. Bait them out. GG's. Get killed, idiots. And then this section. Yeah, why did he spawn over here on the left before? That was weird. Not doing it anymore. There's the other one. Give me that. Jump. Yeah, that was bad spacing. I got it at this point now, though. Patterns are recognized. So at this point, I think that was the ending. So unfortunate, died at the end. But that is, I think, the last bit of stuff I have to memorize. So the rest of this now I should have unlock. Just take the time, because it's an auto-scroller. You literally can't rush this. Be patient, pay attention, should be fine. It kind of just, honestly, that final section's difficulty kind of just depends on where the beast spawns. It should be spawning from the right every time, but the fact it spawned once on the left is really weird. That's the only thing I can't anticipate. I thought being on the left, it should spawn on the left, and then the bee just proved me wrong. And I could just, at this point, have a battle plan. Yeah, it's funny, I put a balloon, like, literally at the end of the level. I guess that was them trying to say, we apologize for making you die so much. Here, have that life back. That was way too early. And to think, the amount of time it takes to clear this level, I could probably clear a whole sublayer in like Donkey Kong Bonanza right now. Which I really need to do that. Like, I need to beat that game because I wasn't expecting it. I don't think anyone else was, but anyone else here heard the news that Donkey Kong Bonanza is getting a timed event next week. Yeah, for some reason, the single player game is having a timed event tied to its DLC that you need to beat the game in order to even play. Why? This is so sloppy, dude. I want to try the event, but I have to play the rest of Bonanza to even get to that point. And it's so stupid, dude. Like, I just got to the point in the game now where I can access the first piece of the DLC, which is over halfway through it. It's so infuriating. I get why for story reasons, because apparently the DLC technically does have a secret final boss tied to it, which is essentially a new fight of the real final boss, so it's understandable on story reasons, I guess, but it's so, like, why is it, oh my god, Nintendo, what are you doing? This is so stupid. And of all times, man, there's a Sonic Racing crossword event that happened today. It's going on right now, the Joker Festival, so Joker's available in the game. I want to try that for the whole weekend. I want to play some of that. Then we got the Splatoon Splatfest happening tomorrow for the weekend. Then, on Tuesday next week, there's a Donkey Kong event. It's like, there's 3 events within, like, 1 week's time span that I'm trying to just get to at least try a little bit of, because I don't have enough time to dedicate the 3 gaming events that are all timed. God, I'm hating FOMO so much in games anymore, because it's getting way too much like an actual 9-to-5 job. It's so dumb, man. It's so dumb. Like, if I don't play, it's whatever, because the event just gives you, I think it was a trophy of Espresso and the first Bonanza form. So it's just like these trophies that you can get in the Donkey Kong Island hub. So it's like if you miss it, it's whatever for that reason. It's not like you're gonna get like exclusive content that's never coming back, because it's just gonna be like a certain pattern of those like gem rushes that you can play, and that's it. But it's like, why are we doing a timed event for a single player video game that is tied to DLC people need to pay real world money for, and also beat the game that they paid real world money for just to access? This is like the mule under the truck situation, except no, this is real, and you also needed to pay about $90 to actually access it. And spend like 20 hours of your time getting to that point, probably. It's so confusing, man. I don't understand this timed event thing. That's just such a question mark to me. The event is one thing, why is it timed? Sure. That's my plan. I'm gonna be playing it tonight after I stream, because it's the race sub-layer. I just got to that the other day. So I've been like chipping away here and there. As soon as they announce the event, I'm like, alright, guess I'm playing nothing but Bonanza for the next week. So I've been kind of working overtime on my Bonanza file. At this point, I'm probably just gonna ignore a lot of the extra bananas around me and fossils, because I just want to get to the boss sub-layers now. I just want to get to the final area, get the final boss so I can actually see this stuff. I can go back. I'm just so confused about this FOMO thing for a single-player game, of all things. It's so weird. That's why FOMO in gaming is just a curse that we just seem to not able to get away from as a society. That's my banana. Prepare to die. Also, wait, didn't I see you back in World 1? You look familiar. A new haircut? Alright, here we go. Feature-length movie time, because these bosses start to get really long in the tooth. And that was really bad timing on the jump. So yeah, the gimmick on this guy is he turns his armor this time into a fiery death trap. So there's not many good times to jump on his back. I'm gonna have to play this one a lot slower now than I normally would, because I, again, usually tank a lot of hits. Like right there, I could have gone for it, but no. I don't want to chance it. And I couldn't clear that jump. Nice. Probably should have roll jumped it. So yeah, we're gonna have that happen a lot. Yeah, anytime his armor's orange, that's when he's on fire. So that's bad. There we go. I don't know why he didn't fully open his armor on the first time I fought him, and then now he's doing it. That was really weird. Personal space, buddy? Hey, you listened. Nope. Well, just hit this now. I actually got perfectly timed. Because a little behind the scenes thing, when I hit the button on my device to update the def counter, it takes about second and a half, 2 seconds to actually update the file, which then actually updates on the overlay. So, such a good timing. That's what I want to do. Oh, pull back. That's why I did the roll jump. Yeah, see, now he's doing a double pattern there. He did not do that before. That's what he did when we first started the fight. Because he can either do like a single rush or then just do another one. That was kind of unlucky. You gotta hit the wall, man. Just hit the wall. Like, I want to roll jump over this guy because it gives me a little more clearance. But it also seems like that might be a bad idea because either I'm going to go into his mouth or he's not going to do the full attack. Okay, and I didn't want to move any further ahead because I would have got clipped by a rock. So, rock or pointy thorn on the head, you pick. Guess DK got horned. Now he's gonna do it again. Dude, okay, the fake out again. Why? Why you gotta be like this? That's why this fight's gonna suck, because this guy plays mental games with you, too. Man, I think it's not even the worst one I have upcoming. I'm not looking forward to the one on the next world. The World 7 boss sucks. It's literally my least favorite fight in the whole game. I hate it so much. Nope, nope. That time he cooperated, good. I think I got killed by his tongue on that one. Not even like a tooth or anything. No, he just licked me to death. Not dog. Yeah, the fake outs for this mirror mode stuff really does suck, because it does give you this false sense of security. Because you're already committed to a jump, and he decides to do a fake out. Oh, good. I guess I'm dead now. And this fight is so long, because it's like 3 different layers, too. So it's a long, drawn-out fight. I don't want to make any mistakes in the later half for that reason, because this sucks. Did it again. My God. Stop that. It's like, my arc can only take so much. All right, here we go, phase 2. Break the floor. Now he's gonna start shooting fire. Oh, my finger slipped. Worst timing. The side of my fingernail clipped the A button and immediately slid right off. That sucks, dude. So yeah, if I remember correctly, every time you get into phase 2, he starts with the fire breath attack like that. Oh my God, dude, we're gonna have the heart attacks again, huh? We're just gonna start with having cardiac arrest. Like, this fight is RNG if he's gonna do the fake outs or not. Preferably, you don't want him to do that at all. I think it's possible to get through the whole event without him doing it at all. And if you're fast enough, you can just hit his back. But I don't think I want to chance out a mirror mode for very obvious reasons. Also, what was hitbox? I didn't touch him, but his hitbox extended out a little too far. Yeah, a third hit always, well, the third fake out, it's not a fake out anymore. The third time he rams at you, that's your safe time. Thank God they give you a safety net. Because it was a coin flip every time, that would suck. Knew it. I had a feeling. Someone just told me it was gonna be a fake out again. Seems like he always wants to do the fake outs on the final hit for phase 1, so just be prepared for it. And then just immediately start ducking here because he's always gonna start with fire. No fake out, surprising. I had some feeling you would do a fake out. I did not time that well enough. I don't know if he's faster there. He kind of felt faster for a second, but yeah, I just definitely didn't time that right. We gotta do a single hop, because, yeah, I don't have the spacing. If you're not fast enough to get the spacing there, you just can't roll jump. And if you can't roll jump, that might as well just be an instant death. That sucks. Yeah, cheering is louder in this version. You are right. Was that the case also in the 3D version? Because this is based off that. Oh my god. This port has a lot of weird issues, and I think sound balancing might be one of them. Because I remember pointing this out when I did the first impressions stream of this back in January this year. But that def screen is stretched in this version for some reason. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know how you screwed it up, because the game itself... Now I'm just tunnel visioning. Yeah, that screen right there is stretched image. The game itself, on the Wii, no matter if you're in a widescreen resolution or full screen resolution on the console, this is a widescreen only game. It was a widescreen only game on the 3DS. That wasn't stretched either. How we get to the Switch version and we stretched a wide image? That makes no sense to me. Somehow the dev studio on this one screwed up things that weren't even a problem in 2 other versions, which is baffling. Like, this version's a good version of the game. Okay, did not expect them to come back. This is a good version of the game, but it has a lot of weird quirks that don't exist on the Wii version, and even some that didn't exist on 3DS. And it just seems to be like a nature of just how they ported the game in general. Because this was not in-house. This was outsourced to a third party, and it's the same company, I think, that worked on the Panzer Dragoon remake, which was also panned at launch, and also, I believe, the House of the Dead not Overkill. House of the Dead remaster, which apparently also had issues. Like, apparently the studio that worked on this specific port is not a good track record. Okay, they were that loud on 3DS too. Okay, so this is just... If it was a problem in 3D, then it just got ported over to Switch, because this is, at the core, a 3DS game we're playing on the Switch. Since that was essentially just almost 1-to-1 ported over to Switch. Like, in some ways, I still kind of prefer the Wii version. It's weird, but there are some things that are still better in that version of the game. Whether it be some graphic stuff because of visual bugs in this one. The co-op is infinitely better on Wii because it's bugged on 3DS and on Switch. So it's just really hard to play this on co-op due to that like 1 frame window compared to 20 frame window enemy bounce thing. That's a pretty big deal. You don't think it's as big of a deal until you play this game in co-op, and then you realize how bad that actually is. So there are just certain things that still make the Wii version kind of the better one, but then also I prefer a lot of the quality of life that was added with 3D, and there's no reason to play the 3DS version with this one. I'll just play this one. It's really weird. Like, I just see this as one of those ports where it has some good qualities, but some bad qualities, so both versions of the game are still a thing I'll go back to. There's a couple games that have some ports or remasters that have that kind of mentality. Big one for a lot of people is Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. A lot of people prefer the 3D port. A lot of people prefer the original GBA one. It depends on a lot of different factors there. And then Ocarina of Time's another one. The 3D version fixes a lot of things, but also it makes other things a little bit harder, just in terms of raw control in the system. So it's like, there's a lot of ports I feel that way with, where I can play both. I prefer one or the other, but I can still play both of them. Like, I prefer this one over Wii, but if I'm playing co-op, I prefer Wii. Ocarina of Time, no, just give me the PC port nowadays. Like, it's flat out, man. That decomp is so good. If you're not counting unofficial ports, I can go back and forth between N64 and 3DS. But if Ship of Arcadian is in that factor, give me Ship every day of the week. That gives you so many features and fixes so many problems while giving you the best quality of life. I gotta get that on my Steam Deck. That's like, I'm working on getting some games on there. I got Sonic Unleashed recomp on it. I now want to work on some of the N64 recomps. My finger slipped again. Happy 500. I want to get that Ocarina port on there. Majora's Mask as well. And I think I want to try the Star Fox 64 one, because I haven't tried that decomp. And it came out almost a year ago at this point. It's been on my radar for a bit, but I just haven't been in the mood to play it, so I just haven't really. I haven't actually booted it up yet. Well, I booted it up to make sure it works, but not like to play it kind of thing. We're in the world now, it's just like a lot of retro games. I'm so glad to see all these like decomp and recomp ports of, because there's so much being done in terms of just the fans of a lot of different IPs, just preserving those games in some fashion. There was one game, really dude, what is a hitbox? There was one game on the N64 that I missed out on back in the day, and I really wanted to try it out, but just don't have a copy of it. And now I might honestly just try it via a recomp. And it was a Mystical Ninja Star Goemon. I rented it as a kid, had a problem at like, I think like a 2-hour mark or so. When you get to like the big robot part of the game, where you're essentially just piloting what feels like a giant Gundam in that kind of world, was kind of weird. I just struggled on it as a kid, never could really get past it. So it's been a game that I wanted to try for years, but now I might just play it via the recomp stuff. Because I can fix some of the problems the original has in terms of how it runs. And it's just more accessible nowadays, because you can play on whatever. Play on a computer, play it on a hacked console, like you name it. Okay, thank goodness the rear doesn't count as damage. I can booty bounce and I'm fine. Alright, finally I'm back into the stuff we haven't seen a bit. See, I want to hesitate there in case he does a fake out, but if you do, there's a good chance you might not be able to get the hit. I swear, he's faster on that section. I did the same things I do in phase 1, I just don't have the time. I swear, he's got to be faster on phase 2. Yeah, the fire attack, unless you're not paying attention, you really shouldn't be hit by that. There's another fire attack I am thinking I might get hit by later, because it's when he does the spread shot stuff. That, you might get clipped by. That's understandable. Oh yeah, he's definitely faster in phase 2 when he does this little backup trick. So as soon as I see him, like, plant himself on the ground, ready to charge, I gotta be ready to jump almost immediately. Because I won't have the time otherwise. Yeah, like, things like this. Then that's when I jump, essentially, when it's in phase 2. Knew it. That horn is deceptively huge. Now you can see why I said going to World 6, we are at that point once we get halfway through. I think one world a session makes a lot more sense going forward, because these worlds get long, and it's not because the levels are long. It's because of stuff like this. Because we're into that hard stuff now. Stuff that also drags on if you take any little hit. That's what I don't like about these fights having no checkpoints. So the fact we have one hit to do an entire run, yeah, that's a perfectionist run. Which is why I can't really recommend anyone to do this kind of thing nowadays. Just play on modern mode. There's no reason to play on classic anymore. Unless you want that extra difficulty. But the quality of life you get on the modern modes for both this game and Tropical Freeze is why I would only really do this once. This is how you have to do it back on the Wii. Ugh. It's just no thanks. And Tropical Freeze on Wii U had the same problem. You only could play with like this 2-heart mode, which means 1 heart for your hard mode stuff. And one's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm looking for that 3rd time he's putting his head down to the ground and running his feet on the floor. That's when I have to be ready to jump. Okay, no fake out. Alright, get ready here. What are we doing? 1, 2, now. A little bit extra stuff to dodge there because of the planks. Plenty of wind up to know when he's spitting fire. Or I have him spitting bars right now in the actual fire. Yep, had a feeling. I think that's enough to get the phase 3. Yep, he's glowing. This is phase 3. Alright, so if I get through this, we're done. But something tells me new, because we got new patterns to learn for phase 3. I was like, where am I? Yeah, that is what I expected at some point. The last piece will break off in another 3 set. Legitimately, I lost focus of where it was. My eyes just dead to not see it. It blended in with the background for a second there. That will happen. Those fireballs are really not easy to see. Like, they're a little bit easier nowadays to see with the HD setup that this version has, because on Wii and 3D, they're kind of crunchy. I like how in mirror mode, I heard that, it dropped the heart sound. It's like, there's no heart. Why is the sound effect still playing? I don't remember that being a thing in Wii, but I never got this far in mirror in Wii, so who am I to really say? Oh, I don't like this. Turn around. I knew it! I didn't want to go left. As soon as I bounced, I'm like, I'm dead. This is not where I was wanting to go. I legit did not think I was actually going to hit him there. I legit took my hand off the controller thinking I'm going to probably die because he's going to put up a shield. Unfortunately, him not putting up a shield still kills me, so makes sense of that. I don't have to worry about the 2 rounds of the fake out phase. It always hits with the rock. Yeah, that's true. The fake out seemed to kind of die down after a certain point, which is good. Imagine having to do this for the entire fight. If I can get luckier and he just stops doing fake outs for a bit, that'd be great. Sometimes he's not doing a fake out with these attacks. It's the only part I get a break. Take advantage of it while you can. And then get ready. I probably should have jumped earlier, apparently. That didn't look like that was not going to have enough clearance. It's just seriously so weird. I'm hearing, now I'm paying attention to it, and I can't unhear it. Why do they still play the sound of you dropping a heart in mirror mode when you can't get a heart in the boss fight? That is so weird. Because some of these hits, he will drop a heart. But obviously not here. Trying to pay attention if there's any indication that's a fake out or not. I don't see anything different in his patterns when he's doing the fake out when he's not. The only thing I can see is just he only turns his head like once when he's doing the fake out because then he immediately puts up his armor. That's the only thing I can see that's different between the fake out and no fake out. It's very subtle. So it's not enough to go on. Like you can tell, it's not enough. Yeah, make you suffer, probably. Yeah, this boss, even on normal, can be a struggle. It's a little bit better nowadays when you're playing on the modern mode stuff, because you get more health. But even then, yeah, this boss is still pretty bad. Because it's drawn out, it has a lot of stuff you gotta dodge, as you can see here. Plus, he gets so much faster at phases 2 and 3. You get used to this speed in phase 1, and then he just doubles it going in phase 2. That's a pretty big difference. Yeah, right there, he was a little more hesitant. I'm trying to see if there's a tell for the fake out. I'm trying to make this easier for phases 2 and 3. Now, again, I just don't really see a tell. You just have to be ready for it. So hesitate until you see his shield open for longer. That's really the only thing you can do. That's right, you also come back further for some reason starting in this phase, which is concerning. Because it makes it look like he's going to pin you to the wall. I jumped way too late there. That was my fault. Because the nerves also get the best of you after a while in this kind of a fight, too. You get the pattern unlock, and then you also like, wait, can I make that jump? I don't know if I can make that jump. Oh god, I can't. And then you just undershoot because you get scared. And then you undershoot because somehow you jumped a little earlier there than you should have, but that definitely looked like it cleared. Alright. That definitely looked like it was clearing the jump as soon as I left the ground, but then definitely didn't look like it when I hit a shield. So yeah, sometimes I guess that can happen. I just really do not like how I don't have a hover. This legitimately is way harder when you can't hover. Because that's the strat normally if you don't want to roll jump every jump. Because it's annoying, that's the only way you can really make it. Maybe you have enough clearance in phases 2 and 3 without roll. But definitely not on phase 1. Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it now. There is a tell. It's his eyeball. He's looking down at the ground if he's gonna come back at you, but he looks up if he's not gonna retract his shield. I'm gonna look at that again and see if that's the case. Look at his eye. He looked down. Look at his eye. He looked up. That's the tell. Pay attention to his eye, then you know if he does the fake out. That makes that so much easier now. I just gotta worry about my distance from him so I can do those roll jumps. That's it. Now I can pay attention to when he's gonna do the fake out. Alright, didn't look up. Didn't look up. Now he's guaranteed to look up. Because you can even see with his eyebrows a little bit too. There's like more of a fear because they look like they're up in like an expressed way. It's very, very subtle detail. Yeah, it is really not a tell, so how is the average player gonna figure that out? I just saw it after one of my failed attempts. It's like, wait a minute, his eyes are in different positions. That's the tell. Yeah, like right there, he was looking up. But I wasn't able to really pay attention because I was so far away. It's so subtle, oh my god. So basically, if you're playing this on handheld or 3D, dear god, good luck on that. You're not gonna see the eyes at all. That small little screen? No. He's gotta look forward like that. Now he's looking forward again. Okay, that was just my bad. And now he looks up in panic. Wow, that's subtle. Hey, Kira, how you doing? You're just in time for the fight that we've been on now for what feels like 30 minutes. Probably actually has been. That's spacing though, it's just not good enough. It feels like I need to be almost the entire arena away spacing wise to get enough distance for the roll and jump. Because otherwise it's a little too close. Like on this distance it's good, but when we're almost touching, not really. Alright, so I could have hit him there, but I was too far away to actually see his eyes. I thought he was looking ahead and down. So that's another thing. You can't see the tell if you're too far away. It needs to be closer to him. Like, if you can, you gotta do, like, the zoom in thing on the Switch. Like, look at him right there. Look at my eyes. That's useless in this kind of situation. Yeah, the front horn, it's dumb. Like, it's so big looking on Hitbox, it looks like it's a little bit wider than the actual horn. So that's not easy to... Like, every time I'm jumping, I feel like I'm either undershooting or overshooting. So I'm getting hit by something. After a while, we were like making good progress on that too, and now it's hard to clear it. I kind of want to test that. I think the roll jump is also the problem too, because I'm getting too much momentum. I don't think I want to roll jump it. You might just barely... Okay, really? You might just barely be able to clear him without roll jumping, which ironically might be safer. I might just want to do normal jumps now. The roll jump might not be the strat. Especially on phase 2 and 3, because he gets so fast. I'm going to start the fight with just a normal jump right here. Doesn't work on phase 1 that well. But phase 2 and 3, it might be better to do a normal jump. We'll see when we get there. Right now, the def count might get bloated as I'm testing this theory. It's just a hitbox. It extends out pretty far when he lunges. So, yes, that is probably better for phases 2 and 3. So if I don't feel confident enough to roll jump then, I should be fine. Phase 1, on the other hand, he's too slow for that. I love how the fire's active when the fire's not even out yet. Just... That's the other problem in this fight, too. That should have counted as a hit to him, not to me. So that's another problem in the fight. Jank. Love jank. It really is dumb on that level of jank on the timing. That should have hit me there. Last time I did a roll like that, his fire hitbox was active. This time it wasn't. Why? I mean, you gotta take the win when you can, but I'm just very confused sometimes with how hitboxes work in this game. Like, sometimes you're forgiven, other times, die, idiot. And then where'd my momentum go? Like, my momentum felt like it died halfway in that jump. Really weird. Close enough that time I was able to actually see his eye tell. Like, you want to be close enough so you can see it, but not too close so you can actually get that distance for the roll jump. Your risk versus reward just even trying to get through his fake out phases. Okay, yeah, you just have enough clearance to do a normal jump during this because he's extra fast. I have to bait him so he can actually stop. Alright, now do your little lunge jump. At least everything is telegraphed. So once you get through certain parts of the fight, then you start seeing the pattern. Because everything now we know what to expect. Because now he does fire. And after this, he's doing his ram lunge. Like this. Now we jump. Pay attention. Jump here. Pay attention. Save time. Because we saw his eyes looking up. Like, he has a very set pattern. We just gotta learn it now for phase 3. He's always gonna start with the shotgun fireball attack. So just pay attention to where he's shooting them in the beginning. Because first one would be 3 shots, and he spits it out in the end to another 3 shot. Just enough time. I just noticed his eyes look up last second. Duck. close enough so he can do his thing. Now I should do his slam attack. Yep, he's going backwards, so he's getting ready for a jump. I don't know if that's faster or not. It felt like it. Alright, now he's going to shoot the fire again. Stay on the left. Oh, new pattern that time. Dude, I had one more hit left. That's so infuriating. I didn't have enough gap. I should have just done a normal jump there. Oh, man. All right. So we got it now. I got the pattern. So every phase I have memorized now. I just have to get to those said phases, which is the hard part. The easy part was just learning them. You just have to remember there when he's actually getting himself in a vulnerable state, you only have about 3 seconds to hit him in the back. They don't have much time to work with. But now having his pattern unlock, I hope there shouldn't be that many more errors. It's just mainly depending on the hitboxes, that's it. Depends on if I can clear his spike hitbox when I do my jumps. If I can clear those, that's really the only attack I'm worried about on weirdness. Okay, that was barely enough because I had to do a weirder jump at the end. Couldn't roll jump it. That Metroid Dread playthrough is starting to come into play now because this is basically what I had to deal with for those boss fights. You play them a lot and then you got the memorization down to a point where now it's more or less, one, don't make the mistakes like that. And two, once you get the memorization down, the patterns start to become a lot easier to dodge, which is the whole point of a one-hit KO challenge. You have to learn the patterns to a point where you can get through the entire fight flawless. Once you get to that part where you got it all memorized, victory's on the horizon. It's just a matter of now getting through it all, getting that perfect run. Because now with the patterns recognized, it's now more user error than anything else. The learning's done. I can now turn in my homework. That's why I feel too, like I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but I do feel like a successful attempt is in the horizon. Like now, I'm getting to a point where I know what attacks he's doing. I can just look at chat for a second. I couldn't do that before. And even when he's doing his claps on the mouth like that, I'm learning when I can jump for any of the speeds. So now it's almost down to a T on memorization. Come back here tomorrow, I'll forget all this. So after I beat him, I'm not going to be doing this again like this. It'll be the same hour-long grind, probably. So fast though when he does that. Why is he down now? That's weird. Just tripped. That's not a really bad dude. Don't put your rear in my face. God, dude. Personal space. Surprised that wasn't a hitbox. I'm glad it wasn't. And there's the jank on the fire. Okay. I did that before and I was fine. Now you gotta take it away from me, huh? Just when I got my flow going. You know, it only makes sense that I got hit by jank when he did something weird. I've never seen him stop randomly like that. Normally, when he does the slam on the wall and then the turn over, the land on the stomach, he normally at least walks halfway into the arena before he trips. So I don't know what happened there on phase 2 earlier. That I've never seen. No, it could be clutch. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. That's right. We're gonna cheat. It's more or less just to save my thumb at this point, because I'm starting to get tired from doing the D-pad down thing. I mean, that's why I got these buttons. Might as well use them. Okay, this time he didn't just randomly trip after hitting the wall. Now he's actually doing the full backup routine. That threw me off before. I was almost expecting him to do it again. Surprised that was a clean attack there, not a fake out. Thank God it's only 2 hits per phase. Thank God, because this is such a long fight. It needs to have at least 1 saving grace, and this is it. Nope, should have done normal jump. I didn't have enough clearance, so that was a bad move. 3 hits. Why am I thinking 2? I think my brain's just shutting off. Because now you say it, yeah, you're right, it is 3. For whatever reason, my brain just subtracted 1 per phase. Don't ask why. I think it's that sleep-deprived part of me talking. I've noticed that when I don't sleep, I can't math. By the way, I was a advanced placement student in the math classes back in my day, back in like high school and college. Sometimes you would not know that with how I fail simple math on streams. I think it's just because of how I sometimes overthink. God, ask me to do any of those equations for those courses nowadays, like with calculus or trig. I can't. It's been so long. That knowledge is one of those things you don't use it in so long, it just leaves. I have to learn it all again if I wanted to do that stuff. Probably could, to be fair. Because once I put my mind to something, I can do it. It just takes time, but something like that I could probably relearn if I had to. It's just, when are you ever using that stuff? It's been the argument for years. And as soon as you graduate school, you'll learn how real that argument becomes. Because you never use, like, calculus knowledge if you're not in like a profession with a lot of math or science. Nice, I thought I was far enough away. What is a hitbox, man? Come on. So saving grace is, to go back on that, it's 3 hits per phase because idiot over here -1 per phase somehow. Blame the 4 hours of sleep. So, saving grace on that one only being 3. Once you get to that 3rd hit, you're going to the next phase, or in the case of the last one, you win. So, pattern recognition. That's it. We're at that point. Please skip the cutscene. Oh my god, how many times I gotta hit the A button. Alright, well that's a first. I pulled back and I still couldn't make it. How? Why did that even happen this time? I didn't do anything different. I was still holding the A button. Oh my god, man. Like now we're just having a "you've been here too long" jitters. Which is where the weird stuff starts to happen. Not hard. The hardest part is literally just jumping over his head when he's doing the fake out style attack because of clearance. The rest of this, pretty formulaic now. There we go. Get over to your corner so you can spit fire. Come on. Well, I mapped this to a button instead of just holding the D-pad the whole time, because that's a lot. A lot on the thumb. Honestly, if he's gonna do the fake out, I prefer him to do it 3 times like that. Like, 2 fakes and then 1 real hit. I prefer that. Because if he's just gonna do the fake out once and let me hit him the second time, that's like the worst case scenario. Because that's where it's a 50-50. So you expect the fake out, you don't get it, then you waste the time and then get clipped by his fire shield. So it's either you don't want him to fake out at all, or fake out on 2 of the 3 hits. See, like that. Almost bad, but I was paying attention enough, I saw it. So I was able to rush over, get my hit. So that wasn't terrible. It's just when he does that on a hit 2 is really stupid. I'm just gonna normal jump that. Yeah, on these fake... Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Really? I was so fast, too. I couldn't have been faster. That was a real hit, and I still wasn't fast enough. Why? Alright, well... Remember what I said before, where at the you're too long here jitters? That's one of those moments. So yeah, in phases 2 or 3, you really don't need to do the roll jumping anymore. That might actually be screwing me over more than it actually should be. Like, it's safer for the clearance on the jump, but also you're too far away, apparently, for getting the hit in time. Well, that's good knowledge to know. It's the one saving grace I had with doing this back in, like, the Metroid Dread. I think, like, the Metroid Dread mode thing, it just... Of, like, the 3 kind of hard mode style playthroughs we've done like this specifically, so the 2 Donkey Kong games and Dread. This is, like, one of the harder ones, if not maybe the hardest. It's between this or Tropical, because they both had the same problems. Dread just wasn't as bad for the bosses, because the bosses aren't that long in Metroid Dread. But once you memorize the pattern, it takes you, like, maybe 2 minutes to fight the thing. 10 tops if it's the final boss, that's like the one exception. That final boss is a gauntlet. But the rest of the fights, not necessarily. Once you get the patterns, they're not marathons like this. But for whatever reason, these Donkey Kong games, they make the boss fights feature like films and have jank hitboxes. Okay, why? Why? Explain that one. Oh man, I just want to go play with Joker on a kart racing game. Come on, man. You heard it's the same one that put a sponge in? Come on, just let me out of here. But I think he's next month, if I remember correctly. SpongeBob thing in Crossworld should be November. Isn't the guy from Yakuza also supposed to come out soon? Because wasn't it marked for November as well? I can't remember. Like, I don't think they said a date. I think they just said a month. Also, I heard recently that apparently with Crossworld, Sega's talking about maybe doing even more DLC with it, like up to 3 years, which is insane if that is the case. That's kind of long for DLC. You don't normally see a roadmap for 3 years. Makes you wonder how much more they're gonna go out for like these super big names, like with show characters or other video game characters that's not in-house names. Yeah, that clearance was bad. I had to just try the single jump. If you can, you want to do the roll jump, but if you're that close, you're forced to do a single, and you can clear as we've seen. Just It's really not helping. I just want to skip this phase every time, because this phase makes my mind mush going into phases 2 and 3, because it's a whole different beast. It's like playing a game on easy mode, and the next level's hard mode. It's like level 1-1 to 1-2 difficulty spike is such an like extreme level, you're not prepared for it. Well, this kind of feels like. Because I'm just so numb to this phase at this point. So I'll talk about random nonsense for this one, then phases 2 and 3 is a lock-in. That almost didn't make it. That was scary. If DK was wearing pants, which apparently he does in one game, then he would need to change them after that. Because, oh my god. Almost feels like you can probably stand on the other side of the wall and not actually get hit by that fire. Don't actually try that. That won't work. Oh god. I hit the roll button, it didn't come out? That's great. So when you saw me pull back, that's because the roll didn't come out. Ah, man, I love how sometimes that just happens in this game and I don't know why. Like, I don't think it's like an issue with how the game was converted, the control stuff, or it's just something to do with like the wireless stuff. I don't know. Just hate when that happens. See, we like it when you fake out 3 times like that. Or attack 3 times, I should say. Fake out twice. Honestly, it's the best case scenario, because then you're prepared for it the whole time. You know when a guaranteed hit's happening. Yeah, it almost looks like that could be a safe zone, like literally rubbing your face against the wall. Don't chance it, but it does look like it. It might actually be better if you don't feel like I can get to that. If I feel like I can't hit the back of his back, then oh my god, what is a hitbox? Seriously, dude. If I don't feel like I can hit his back as I can finish this point, then maybe it's best to let it go and just hit him on other phases. Since I can get a hit in when he flips over or when he's doing the fake out style attack. So I have technically one attack, I have a guaranteed hit. I can always just go for the flip over if I wanted to delay the fight another 3 minutes per phase or something. It is technically the safe strat. I would just love to just play this game at some point with a hitbox viewer, because I would love to see how wide some of these hitboxes are. Because I swear I've gotten hit by this horn of his a couple times, well, not being near it. It's giving me like Mario Maker spike hitbox jank. Specifically Mario Maker 2, because what the heck happened in the sequel? It's fine in the first game, and then you get to the Switch, and boom. They're 2 tiles wide when it's a 1-tile item. So it just sucks that people use them in the levels. Okay. Wait, wait a second. The air tell for that technically is just waiting to see if he's going to move after he tilts his head a couple times there. But it is still, like, you pay attention to the eyes, that's your real tell. Basically, just play it slow with the fake out attack. Like to see that? The two fakes? Ooh, middle one this time. Changing it up. Don't go for it. I just noticed last second I wasn't gonna hit him. That's why I say, if I don't feel confident getting his back, it's better to just avoid it. It makes the fight a little bit longer, but it is safer. And I might be able to still squeeze out a good attempt if I can just hit him again. I'll have to do this one more time, and that's fine. Alright, now get back to your spread shot. The problem is I didn't have enough spacings. I'm like, oh, you're just gonna move back. Doing the move back actually killed me. If I maybe just tried to... I swear, man, these buttons on the Switch 2 Pro controller are no better than the Switch 1 mush. How? I held the button, I still didn't get a full jump. Fun. I think that's the only time that's ever gonna happen to anyone ever. Dude, say we will about Microsoft, because they do deserve all the bad talk they get, because they are a sinking ship. But they still probably have my most, like, favorite and comfortable controller of all time. Those Xbox One/Series controllers are just perfect to me. For how they feel, button responses, all that. They legitimately are better than this mush fest. Because I like the Switch Pro controllers, but the buttons are a little too mush, and that kind of showed why. I don't know what it is, but like these controllers feel like that $5 membrane keyboard you got included with like your computer you got from like your grandmother. But yet the bottom buttons, super clicky. Just put those up here on the face. That'd be great. Please. Do it, Nintendo. New redesign. Move the clicky buttons up top. Outside of the mush on the buttons, the rest of the controller is fantastic. I'm too close. Just do neutral. Because when you're close like that, neutral's safe, as we've learned. Yeah, I've been noticing that has been also my downfall at times too, Matt. If you get too greedy in this kind of fight, you attack him early, that's when you get hit by his armor. You can't rush this fight. You really gotta play it slow. Oh, I actually got eaten. Okay, well, I haven't seen that since, like, Attempt 5, maybe? It's been a bit. Because I didn't have that distance, that's why I had to go for that neutral jump. You saw how well it worked in phase 2. I prefer to have this much distance, but if I'm too far, I don't have enough time to get that hit in the back. It's a risk versus reward. Yeah, I will say though, like, just to go back on that comment you said, I've noticed a lot of these bosses, when you're playing on Modern, it's not as bad because of all the extra hits you get with the extra hearts. Not to mention, just in general, you get hearts. That's a pretty big factor. So you can do a lot more risky stuff in these kind of bosses, and you're not very punished for it compared to, you know, this kind of setup. This is how the Wii Original was, so Wii Original, 2 hits, but yet you get the hearts in the fight. You can still make some risky moves in that. You just have to be a little bit more careful once you lose your partner, Diddy. But you can still take some hits here and there to speed things up. Obviously, once you get to the mirror stuff, that's all out of the window, but even then, Modern Mirror is fine. It still has its own difficulty, yes, but you have an extra hit to play with, so you can do some damage boosting in some areas. It's gonna obviously depend on, okay, random trip. It's gonna depend on the fight and the situation at hand for if you want to even try taking a hit. My god, I'm glad I slammed DK against that wall. I think I would have got hit by his tail otherwise. Oh, come on. How did I not clear it? I think I scraped the side of his armor shield last second. So it was like pixels away from clearing the jump. It was that close, I guess. Again, the worst part about this is just how long these fights get, man. It's like, after a while, you just kind of go on autopilot because you've died so many times, you just, like, you want to move on. And that's exactly what's happening with the deaths now. I've been here for so long, I'm getting antsy, which is not good. But I take a couple deaths, which reminds me, go patient again. Because patterns unlock, but oh my god, this is so drawn out. I love the levels in these games, but Returns and Tropical Freeze, just, I don't really care for the bosses too much. Because they're just too long. I remember saying that in Tropical, too, when we did this a couple years ago. My sense of time doesn't feel right, because that didn't feel like that was, at this point, going on 8 years. Like, it was over 7 years ago we did that. It'll be 8 years going into 2026. Which is insane to think about. It was a whole other, like, method of streaming, too. I didn't have the same audio gear. I wasn't using Facecam yet. It's, like, a lot more laid back, but that's when I was getting into doing the streaming stuff as a more regular thing still. So at that point, I was only doing stream stuff for a little over a year at that point on a regular basis with, like, a proper schedule and all that. Tropical Freeze is probably one of my first ambitious kind of hard mode playthroughs that I've really done on the channel. My god, dude, really. That was like one of the most ambitious things I'd done at the time. Still kind of has been, to be honest. Only recently got to that point again with this. Somewhat nostalgic to do this kind of thing after, you know, 70+ years since doing the last Donkey Kong challenge. But I do feel after this year, I'm probably going to take a break from some challenges for a bit, because I think I've kind of done that a little too much this year in general, I've noticed with the different streams. Ocarina of Time, 100% was a one-hit KO thing the whole time. We have Sonic Unleashed was level 1 until we beat every level. Then we have, what else was there? I know it was obviously this, but I feel like there was another thing I did too. It was the challenge run. I'm just blanking on what it could have been. But it's the big three has been Donkey Kong, Ocarina, and now Sonic. Funny enough, all three of them were challenge 100%. Wasn't planning on doing that as a theme this year, but it kind of just happened. That was the most sketch dodge. I'm gonna chill over here. No reason. At least this boss music isn't driving my nerves crazy like the World 4 boss theme. That one sucked. It's way too repetitive. But this is repetitive too, but I like the melody more. And it does pick up with every phase. Plus, also, I can't really mute the game for this one like I did in World 4, because that was more visual cue than anything else, but this is a lot of audio cues. I can't play this without audio. It'd be way harder than it actually needs to be. Ah, clearance, dude. I need to be like a mile away, apparently, and I was only like half a mile. Yeah, I've been locking in. It's just that hard once you get to the later parts of phases 2 and 3. Mainly 3. Kind of funny, I think being on that side specifically makes the rocks way harder to see. Because I barely saw that rock on the right until it actually fell out of the sky. Ceiling kind of hides it. Okay. I had a feeling I wasn't making that jump anyways. I want to see something in my sake. Let me try eating that output. Doing this output. We'll see if that makes a difference. I'll explain what I'm talking about here once I get into a certain part of this fight, because I want to see that even make a difference. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna bother. That was just spank. Spank. Yeah. Alright, now we're getting to that point where I'm getting loopy. That was jank hitbox time. Okay, yeah, this is actually feeling better. Okay, maybe I should be doing that again for streaming. For reference sake, what I'm talking about is that the audio setup I have has a little bit of latency to it. It's not enough where it's impossible to play, but enough for me to hear a difference. Like if I'm playing a rhythm game, I can't do it. So when I'm needing these more precise jumps, I'm running the audio straight through my audio interface now, which has 0 delay. I talked about this, I think, in a Donkey Kong stream, maybe a week or two ago, I can't remember now. But remember how I said in one of these streams in the past, as a society, we found a way to make our gaming latency down to like the millisecond, but for whatever reason, we have not done that for audio for some reason. Yeah, in my headphones, there's a 1/4 second audio delay. But if I route it straight through the interface, 0. 0 seconds. It's really stupid, because what I'm doing is using a music program for this. I'm having to open up an actual, like, music DAW software. And then it's fine, because it goes straight through the thing, instead of through Windows. Windows audio is terrible. Shout out to everyone who bought one of those Xbox ROG Ally things, and the first thing they did was install Linux. You're the true homies out there. Everybody knows how terrible Windows is on a handheld. It is awful. They include Microsoft Office in that thing. Okay, nice mush button again. They include Microsoft Office on that thing for some reason. Who's gonna use Microsoft Office on a thing like this? No keyboard, no mouse. Who's gonna use the Office suite on one of those? Shouts all my homies putting Bathsite on the RLG allies. Because honestly, if you're going with a Linux distro for gaming, go with Bathsite. I installed it on a laptop because we have officially crossed that point. F's out for Windows 10. It's officially unsupported anymore. It is now legacy software. No more security patches with like some asterisk on it because of the weird things you have to do to get more security patches for upwards like a year to 3 years. I don't know. They just want you to upgrade to Windows 11 now. It's stupid. So I took a machine that doesn't support Windows 11, and instead of just doing the workaround stuff, because I've done it, but it's kind of a mess to work with, honestly. I just installed a Linux distro on it instead. And I chose Bathsite because I wanted to try it. And it's actually pretty cool. Very gaming focused. I mean, you can set up to literally boot into Steam's big picture mode to turn on the machine. Which is why everyone's using it for those gaming handhelds that have Windows on it. So it's super gaming focused, but it's also just a computer OS. I have it just booting right into a desktop environment. And yeah, no, it just works. No ads anywhere, like with Windows. No bloatware bringing it down. Like my computer feels like it boots faster now. And it's not ramping up the fan as much on the laptop. So that's already showing it's not using as much background processing. Because that's the problem with Windows. Everything apparently has to run in the background for some reason on Windows. Because half of it's just their telemetry crap that just phones home ads. So nowadays, if you don't need Windows-specific software and you can get away with using something like a Linux distro, go that route. It might be the way of the future for a lot of people because people are just sick of Microsoft. I mean, who isn't with them raising game console prices literally twice in 1 year, raising a subscription upwards of 50 to 100% in some territories, then also laying off over 9,000 employees, canceling a bunch of games, also releasing a handheld that costs more money than it's worth with its own fair share of problems. We're also talking about their new system being a premium one, which will cost more money than what's out there now, on top of the dev units going up a third, like what was it? It's $500, so what was that again? Was it 30%? I think it was 30%. Yeah, something like that. I can't math right now, as I mentioned before. There's a literal laundry list of problems in Microsoft right now. So this is why a lot of people are just saying, screw this, I'm going Linux. I can completely understand why. That's why I want to try it myself. Especially knowing I was getting a Steam Deck in the mail, I decided to try Bathsite. Because it's KDE environment. That's the same thing Steam Deck uses. It's the exact same thing. So that's why I wanted to try it out. And yeah, it works the exact same way. So I already got familiar with the Steam layout before the Steam Deck showed up. God, that run-on sentence literally felt like that was a fever dream, but no, all those things I mentioned are real things that have happened in the course of 6 months? Not even a year, dude. Not even a year. And we have this many dumb things all at once from one company. From what I'm understanding, apparently a lot of this is... actually, no. There's another story I even forgot to mention. Literally just dropped, I think, today. A lot of this seems to be head of Microsoft specifically, not people at Xbox division. A lot of these weird financial things are because of all the money Microsoft's been putting out as of late into the Xbox division because of all these buyouts and these like different investments that we wanted to make with like the future of their systems and such. So it's starting to bite them in the butt, as everyone called Minute One, to a point now where Microsoft themselves are telling Xbox, we need to make a 30% in every game release and like every hardware. We need to make 30% of our margins now, which if you know anything in the gaming industry makes 17 upwards of 22% on margins on their sales. 30% is not feasible. It's very unrealistic. And this is Microsoft cracking down, saying, you guys spent way too much money. We need to make that profit, because this is a sinking ship, essentially. That's how people are translating it, 'cause it's not one-to-one, but close enough. God, all I can say is I'm happy that I have the systems I have from that Microsoft family, but at the rate things are going here, a Series X is my last Xbox system, period. I don't care what it is at this rate, because it just seems like it's gonna have no reason to exist with no good price tag. Because the next system is rumored to be, even from Microsoft themselves, they've said it, a PC console hybrid. So it's gonna focus more on PC focus at that point, like being an actual computer, than being a game console, which is gonna confuse people based on how the ROG Ally thing has been going. Because I hear that system, good hardware, terrible software. It feels clunky, it takes too long to set up, it feels very unresponsive. As soon as they get rid of Windows, half of those issues are all gone. The only real problems that are left are maybe some jank because it's just a new handheld. The community-driven like stuff hasn't been figured out yet to get like Linux support on it. So that will be ironed out in time. So it's like, if that's the route we're going, no. At that point, you literally just get a computer, because you're buying a computer at that point with a Microsoft sticker on it. That's all it's going to be. Backwards compatibility will be a thing of the past, because there's literally no way that thing's going to have a disk drive. Everyone knows at the rate things are going, that's going to be the thing of the past, and even software probably won't work in the same way. Because, shocker news, everyone wasn't expecting this one, right? The Xbox, ROG Ally, can't play all the Xbox games. Gee, it's like a thing is not an Xbox or something, but we slapped the name on there because, haha, funny. It works for marketing, I think. It doesn't. A lot of people apparently have been very upset about that because they're trying to access their back catalog of like old 360 games on it, or even like some of the older Xbox One games that they bought before that Play Anywhere feature became a thing. Like, they just don't work. Like, you're not playing Halo 5 on that device because Halo 5 is an Xbox One exclusive. You're not playing any of those old 360 games you got because it's not an Xbox, it's a computer. And that's what's gonna happen with the next gen, because if they're going that route, if it's gonna be a computer, good luck trying to play anything that's not a modern release on it. Which that is a selling point for some people. If they're being that expensive, people will just buy like, what, the PS6? That'll be the thing at that time instead. Sony already ate Microsoft's lunch and then some. There's really no coming back, and they're digging this hole even deeper. All because Microsoft themselves want to make a bigger profit because the company spent too much money on them. Moral of the story, stop buying things. If you don't have the money, please stop. I feel like this is like the perfect time to go on tangents when we're doing the same thing for what feels like at this point 2 hours. I know it hasn't been, but it feels like it. I mean, for all I know, it probably has been. I haven't been checking the actual time. It's like literally these stories though, I keep on hearing about the whole Microsoft thing. The comments on every single news story is literally the same thing as you would expect. Can we not stop screwing up for 1 week? Like literally people are screaming that in the comments for good reason. This is a literal like weekly occurrence now, and I don't know how we keep on making things worse over at Xbox HQ. But our good Lord Microsoft has found a way. Yeah, at this point, like, yeah, Microsoft themselves are pushing Xbox as a division completely out. They are making that the way of the dodo because at this point, it's just going to be third party. Just like how Sega went that way many years ago. Microsoft themselves said that's not going to happen. But Sega said that, and then what happened with the Dreamcast? They went third party because the system sold like crap. So, you can say one thing, and then like a couple months later, that entire mindset completely changes because the money isn't there anymore. You don't know what's going on with this company. It's a literal like daily occurrence for how many times they shoot themselves in the foot. I'm honestly surprised at this point they have limbs. My entire mindset on how this company has been within the past few months has done a complete 180, where it's like, you know, it's fine, not as much of a reason to get Xbox stuff because they don't really have exclusives, but their hardware is good. They have the Game Pass stuff, so it's a lot of like very welcoming environment, pretty affordable and all that. Die, idiot. Finally. That completely changed. Now it's a complete 180. Don't bother. That's just my whole mindset. Just don't even bother with the brand. Don't even bother with their hardware. Don't even bother with the software. Xbox as a whole is a don't bother. By the controllers, though, these are still fantastic, and they work on pretty much everything. That is it. And yeah, the moral of the story is complain about Microsoft shooting themselves in the foot so much they don't have feet. There you go. That's how we win. All right. Time/death check. What was this? Let's find out. I'm looking at the VOD, rewinding it. We got here around... Okay, so like about halfway through the stream, I would say. It's like hour 25 in. Be like here? Yes, this was the mark. Okay. So between that and now... I mean, we can tell just from our life count probably at this point. But death count was at 479, now it's 551. So that was a high amount, but by how much is the question. So let's see, doing that math now. 72. Yeah, that's about right, mate. You know, looking at those balloons. Let's make a pit stop over here. Don't ask, Cranky. Don't ask. Microsoft is the key to winning because just look at what they do and do the exact opposite. It was literally a just win forehead moment. I was able to lock in when I wasn't even focusing on the boss patterns anymore. Just talking about nonsense like that. Got it. No problems. It's ridiculous, dude. That's just how it goes. Alright, well that's it. We got ourselves all levels cleared here. And we got all the puzzle pieces, all the mirror stuff done, so World 6 is done. No more cliffs. Think about a cliff. I already knew him. Because now I'm going to factory. I'm not looking forward to this one. Oh god, this one sucks. And it has a gimmick too, which the gimmick itself, this is the weird part for how I play it, because when you first get to this factory, we'll mention when we're here again, because that's it for tonight for Donkey Kong, but these specific levels here, 7.5, 7.6, and 7.7, you can't just beat these, you have to find the hidden switch in it, flip it, then beat the level with the switch activated. That activates the rocket, which then sends you to the boss fight. So, I'm gonna basically be playing this world like I haven't hit these switches yet, because with mirror mode, you have no choice. The switches are already pre-hit. So we're gonna just pretend like that's not the case at that point. So, I'll have to at least do that on every run. So I'm mainly just doing that part with the Kong stuff. It's like the one weird thing I have to do in this, because it's just how the game's set up. But we've had some other stuff like that in Tropical Freeze, and I've made little addendums for it for that reason. Yeah, that's exactly why. So you have to hit the buttons that are in the square levels because it opens up the rocket path. That's not the case in mirror mode. At least to my knowledge, it shouldn't be. But we'll do it anyways because that's part of how the original level played. So that's what to expect next time. And it's also my least favorite boss in the game. That should tell you right there, the next session is one to look forward to. But I will have to say, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. We're not gonna be playing this next week because it's gonna be my Halloween celebration. So we'll be back to the World 7 in the very beginning of November. So this game gets a week off, but you got something to look forward to when we come back to it. So, yeah, that's gonna do it. Unfortunate time there. Hi PJ, how you doing? We're about ready to end it here. We just finished our hard challenge for Donkey Kong tonight, but next time we meet up, we're going to be going through the factory stuff here in World 7. But, yep, that's going to do it. I'm exhausted, so at this point, I'm going to get this VOD worked on so I can go to sleep. Actually get some rest tonight, be a miracle. So, that's it for tonight. I'll be back here on Saturday for the Splatoon 3 Splatfest Splatoween. We're going to be covering that for our start of a spooky festival of some kind. Wink, wink, wink. So come by there as I'm going to talk about the plans I'm going to have for how we're handling the Halloween stuff for next week and just the remainder of October in general. But that's pretty much it. And I guess, yeah, unboxing for this tomorrow, the Steam Deck, which is going to be funny because for reference sake, you're going to want to watch that after it was like the 20-minute mark or so. Because I show the setup process of this. I got this in the day of the Steam outage. So trying to set this up when the Steam client itself was still borked. Yeah, definitely check out the unboxing video to see that experience because it was an experience to say the least. It took an hour to turn the thing on. I love modern technology. Other than that, it works great. So definitely check out that video tomorrow, but that's pretty much all I have for you tonight. So with that said, I'm out. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you back on Saturday for some Splatoween. Take care and have a good night, everybody.